Hi, welcome to my automotive show EKG Canadian Enthusiast. Today is the first episode of season 12. So today on the show we're going to do a comparison test on the Lexus LX versus its American competition, why it's better than all of them. So now let's get started. Now today on the show, now let's talk about the ones that are going to be in the comparison test, of which I'm taking into consideration. I'm taking the Series 3 premium model from the Jeep Grand Wagoneer, the Series 3 model, 5-door SUV, 7 seats, 8-speed automatic, 6.4 liter V8, 471 horsepower, 105 miles per hour, 0 to 60, 7.1 seconds to 60, and a price tag of $109,000, which around figure $110,000. Then of course the Cadillac Escalade, premium luxury platinum version, not the ESV version because it doesn't make any sense really. Price tag $113,000. 5-door SUV, 7 seats, 10-speed auto, 6.2 liter V8, and 420 horsepower, and a top speed of 120 miles per hour. So that's the contender for the Cadillac. Then the Lincoln Navigator I'm taking is the Navigator Black Label long wheelbase variant. Price tag $106,000. 7 seats, 3.5 liter twin turbo V6, and 440 horsepower and 150 mile per hour top speed, going through a 10-speed automatic. Now you're thinking pretty good, that's pretty good. Then of course you have the Lexus lx600. Now prices are not here yet, so I have myself estimated how much this will cost. In my book, LX will cost $100,000 to $140,000 in my book. 5-door SUV, range-topping VIP trim, 4 seats, 10-speed auto, 3.5 liter twin turbo V6, 409 horsepower, top speed or 0 to 60 not given yet. So I will do my best not to involve those factors. Even when it comes to performance, I will do my best. So on that notion, you might now think 4 seats, because the markets outside the US in general tends to use this as chauffeur-driven limousines, like in the UAE and China and in Asia. So that's why I'm taking the 4-seater version. This is a video for the world, not just for the US. So let's get started quickly on my requirements. First, let's start with the weekend requirements. In terms of styling, I would say that the Lexus LX is the best look of its American competition, 10 out of 10. Next is the Lincoln Navigator, 9.5 out of 10, very elegant. The Jeep Grand Wagoneer, 9 out of 10, and the Cadillac Escalade, 8.5 out of 10. Not bad, but not stylish as the competition. In terms of performance, which includes 0 to 60 horsepower and off-road abilities, because of Lexus's brilliant off-road abilities, it gets 10 out of 10. That is because I can't give this thing other areas. Overall, because others are also very capable, I will give all 4 10 out of 10 to make it reasonable. Handling, round the corners, my friend, 5 out of 10 for the LX, 4 out of 10 for the Grand Wagoneer, 3 out of 10 for the Lincoln Navigator, and 2 out of 10 for the Escalade. The Escalade is a big boat. It's based on a Chevy Suburban. You know how much of a boat it is. In terms of brand prestige, it's a victory for Lexus by a mile, my friend. 10 out of 10 for the Lexus LX. It's a Lexus. It's the best luxury brand in the world, except for Mercedes-Benz and BMW and Audi. Yeah, of course. Then of course 6 out of 10 for the Grand Wagoneer. It's a Jeep, and it's a Jeep. You can't give it 5.5 even, because it's a Jeep. You can't give it even 8. It's 6 out of 10. Then of course the Lincoln Navigator, a strong brand prestige, 7 out of 10. And the Cadillac Escalade lost its spark as a brand prestige, but it's still better than Jeep in terms of brand prestige, 6.5 out of 10. Future classics. This is where I would say which vehicle is a future classic or not. The Lincoln Navigator is not a future classic yet, 8 out of 10. The Escalade, definitely not, 7 out of 10. The Grand Wagoneer is the the grandfather of all luxury SUVs, 10 out of 10, and the LX gets 9.5 out of 10. It's already a classic, so that's my point. Overall, the LX gets 44.5 out of 50, Grand Wagoneer gets 38.5 out of 50, Navigator 37.5 out of 50, Escalade 34 out of 50. So you can see the Lexus LX is winning this fairly easily at the moment. In terms of daily requirements, interior wise, Lexus LX is the best, no question. 10 out of 10. Wagoneer, 9 out of 10. Very impressive. And 8.5 out of 10 for the Navigator. And 8 out of 10 for the Cadillac Escalade. Just not good enough as the competition. Then in terms of technology, Cadillac is the best out of all. 10 out of 10, no question. The Navigator 9 out of 10 with its recent updates with the facelift, and 8.5 out of 10 for the Grand Wagoneer, which is very tech savvy, screens in the back and the front, 13 plus screens I presume in this thing, in the Wagoneer. LX 8 out of 10, so that's a very good performance for a brand that isn't much known for infotainment systems, but it's very good in technology. 8 out of 10 for the LX. Fuel efficiency, no question, LX is the best. I will predict it's the best. 10 out of 10. The Wagoneer 9.5, the Lincoln Navigator 9.5 out of 10, no questions on that. It's a twin turbo V6 just like the Land Cruiser. Then between the two V8s, the Escalade and the Grand Wagoneer, the Escalade is more frugal. 6 out of 10 for the Caddy, and for the Grand Wagoneer 5 out of 10. Of course it's a Hemi, so it's less frugal. It's really unfrugal really overall. Then of course in terms of value for money, yes, value for money, the Lexus is the best. 9 out of 10 for me, and I would think even at 120, 130,000 it's the best out of the competition. Then of course the Wagoneer 8.5 out of 10, good value for money. The Navigator 8 out of 10, and the Escalade 7 out of 10. I don't want to pay that much money for a Cadillac, to be really fairly honest. Then of course in terms of practicality, if I repeat the same thing, please correct me in the comment section. 8 out of 10 for the Lexus LX. It's not the biggest, but it's very luxurious, and its 4-seater layout is deflecting points. Then the Grand Wagoneer gets 8.5 out of 10. Its wheelbase isn't quite big as the GM or the Ford base products, and the Navigator gets 9 out of 10. Of course, the Navigator, even long wheel, and the Caddy then of course is the biggest, unquestionable, 10 out of 10. So overall 45 out of 50 for the LX, 40 out of 50 for the Grand Wagoneer, 42 out of 50 for the Navigator, 41.5 out of 50 for the Cadillac Escalade. So overall, the winner of the comparison test is the Lexus lx600 VIP, 89.5 out of 10. Then of course second is the Lincoln Navigator, which I don't agree. No, it's not, but it's only by a point. In short, the Jeep Grand Wagoneer is the better option than the Lincoln Navigator. That's my point. By the Grand Wagoneer, not the Navigator. The Navigator in terms of points, runners up 79.5. The Grand Wagoneer 78.5, and the Cadillac Escalade last 75.5. Not because it's bad, it's just the competition is just too good. So to summarize, the Lexus LX is the best out of all, best out of the competition. The LX beat all of its American competition by a mile and destroys them. In terms of the American competition in this comparison test, which I respect very much, I would say the Grand Wagoneer is better than the Lincoln Navigator. That's the truth. Simple as that. The Cadillac Escalade simply can't keep up with the Lexus LX or the Grand Wagoneer, but it deserves to, and it's a very good product. So on this notion, I'm going to end this video on this video. But before I end the video, I want to say very soon on the next episode, we'll be doing a comparison test comparing the Lexus LX to its German and European competition. So join us for that. Thank you very much.